Good morning to day 194. Where are we? 7:30. Sun is up. Weather is good. Slightly cloudy. Some big ones coming over the sea over there. Okay, so today, lots going on. All very similar to the day before. Let's have a quick look where we are so far so I can see what needs to be done today. Okay, so one thing I asked the guys to do yesterday was to scratch coat the inner walls of the big door frames, including the top. Unfortunately, they haven't got the top done. So, two guys yesterday managed to scratch coat 4 small areas. So I'm not too sure what they were up to yesterday. So that's one job we're behind on, because that's got to be done today. We were going to be white mortaring that today, so that's not going to happen. I asked the guys to obviously finish off the door frames at the very end. This is where we are. So they managed to get one done, so I need to measure that, make sure that's done. That's done. Like I said last night, they're not straight, but at least they're in. That one's done, that one's done, that one's done. I'm assuming that one there has been boxed up and poured with concrete, judging by the mess on the floor. But saying that, I'm not seeing any splashes of concrete, so it looks like they might have boxed that and not done anything with it. So, and again, I'm pissed. I need to talk to him about actually keep on doing these columns drunk. Don't understand why they box things up and not squat. That's pretty frustrating, because every time that goes in, it gets poured and it's obviously not straight, we have to straighten it. So it's like doing a job twice every single time. As we said yesterday, 5 of the window frames have been installed. They're just temporarily put in for now, so they're screwed in, they're fixed in, but they're not balanced or anything like that. So let me show you last night anyway, but one of the 3-foot ones in. As you can see, quite a big gap around the outside. So we went 24 1/4, which is a 1/4 inch either side, but again, the window frames are not straight. So as a result of not being straight, we've now got to try and plumb them as best as possible, but also make them functional. You know what windows are like. If they're not plumb, they're not functional, but apparently he's saying you might have to make them unplumb to make them functional, which doesn't seem to make any sense. But anyway, they need to be functional, so he needs to do what he's got to do to make sure that happens. I'm not too sure when that one's opened back up again. We locked all of them last night. But again, look at the gap at the top. We've got quite a large gap at the top. So we measured all of those and redid them and redid them and redid them, and there's still massive gaps. So again, any solutions out there? I'm under the impression in the UK we use fixer foam if it's too big. We cut that back. Obviously we use packers. They don't seem to use that many packers here. I don't know why. There seems to be no packers in here. So there's one there, look. But I was under the impression you're meant to actually put them in and around where you're screwing to ensure that you don't get any movement within the frame. So I'm not seeing any packers. So I need to talk about making sure that happens. So I might even talk to the manufacturer as well and make sure that these guys follow what the manufacturer stipulates. The guys got around to doing this yesterday. But again, not the greatest job in the world. So that's got to be rectified. I don't know what happened on Sunday, but they were meant to do all 8 openings and they never got around to doing them. So, morning. This one's got a fingerprint on it for some reason. So what we need to do obviously is make sure they're all straight and they're finished, and then we can start getting the windows put in. So again, this one doesn't seem to have a threshold at all. So I'm not too sure why that is. We need to measure that door frame to make sure that that is right, because we need to make sure that it's got a run on it. So it doesn't seem to have a very big run on it at all. There is a run, you can see it, but it's not very big, unlike these ones here. These ones are up by maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And then the rain sort of runs on the front. So that one's virtually non-existent. But anyway, they've also now started busting holes through walls, which is a little bit late. That's out in the foyer. So I've obviously bashed a hole through the foyer to try and find where that pipe is, and that one as well. That also means now on the outside where they were scratch coating yesterday, they're going to have to refill and re-scratch coat. So I got them to scratch coat in here yesterday so we can get that white plaster today. But again, they've gone and busted 2 holes in here, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. So we need to get those. That one's not so much of an issue because obviously that's prior to the mortar. But this one, morning mate. But this one seems to be busted in there last night, so that needs to be filled. They could have done that last night, obviously that way. And today we're actually going over white mortar, no problems at all. So So the white mortar guys are here this morning, thinking they're going to be doing here, the inner parts here, and the foyer, before they start on to the annex. But my guys, for some unknown reason, didn't do what I asked them to do. So I need to find out why, and we need to get that done sooner rather than later, because the door frames are being brought up onto the patio here later on today. So we got the load all outside, so I've got a guy coming at 8:30 to try and get the windows out of the container and to bring them up here to start the install up here. So we ideally need to start making sure we're getting all these entrances for doors and windows finished so that we can actually do the install. So this all needs to be cleared off, that's all going to have to be cleared out, and then we can start doing this. Today I'm assuming that the guys are going to be obviously mixing concrete and doing the manholes. That one needs to be finished off, that one's got to be poured, that's got to be boxed up. So they've got a lot of work to do. I'm also not too sure where all this formwork is suddenly coming from. Big 4-foot pieces as well, so I'm assuming, never assume, but I'm assuming they've unboxed this. I'm not too sure why there's formwork everywhere, but I suppose there was quite a bit underneath here maybe. So that's got to be done. The well guys, Jesus, I don't know what they're doing, they're on a go slow. You'd think they're paid by the hourly rate. That was meant to be done in 4 to 5 days. It's now been a week and a half, but in their defence, they've not actually been here. So it's not taken a week and a half. It's probably taken 4 days so far, but they're not getting very far for 4 days, put it that way. So again, I need to talk to him today to find out what he's actually going to be doing. I've texted him this morning, no response as yet. The water's starting to dry. I have a couple of patches coming up. Not too sure what they are. Normally when we get a patch like that, that is bark. And it acts like a dye, but I'm pretty sure they're pre-sanded, so I'm not too sure where that's come from. But they've got 3 spots. They've got 2 there, and they've got 2 here. And also cracked there as well. But again, I think they're going to come back and finish bits off anyway. They've also got to do the white front columns as well. So today they can do that column there. They can do the other side as well. They can do this column and this column and this column. But I need my guys to get their arse in gear to get this bit here done. So I need to do that sooner rather than later. I don't really want them focusing on here at the moment. I want them focusing on the house. So I need the foyer done. I need the big window doored areas done. I need the front columns done. On the actual top itself, the lip up here, we've actually got a suspended ceiling going in here with lights. So I would get them to scratch coat this. I might get my guys to do that anyway, but obviously what we've got is a 4.5 inch drop, and that will create a cavity. So we're gonna have to work out, we're gonna have to work out how we scratch coat that, and then when they white mortar, how we're gonna get that bit done. So we'll probably have to put some form of corner beading on it, that joins the plasterboard underneath and the front, some form of mesh, like a corner bead of some sort, and then they can do it over that. But I also got to make sure that to a certain extent it's something that can come down, so I'm not too sure on that one. Any ideas, let me know. Obviously doing it 4x2 would be great, but obviously with the wind and the rain and the rock, that's probably not the best material to use. But it needs to drop down by about a 4.25, which is what we'll be using 2x4s across there to come down. So what we'll be using the front fascia to try and make sure we can plaster the whole front. So that'll be interesting to find out what we're going to do there. And then obviously I need my guys scratch coating the rest. I'm going to ask them to give me a price because I'm fed up with them working like snails. So I'm going to get them to give me a price to scratch coat this, scratch coat this, scratch coat all of that, and then around the actual this side here, so basically this wall here, scratch coat all the way along to the front of the building and down the front of the building. I'm going to get them to give me a quote to do that, and obviously I'm going to get them to jump on getting this inner piece done because that should have been done. These guys need to be doing that today, which is a real pain in the arse. But anyway, we'll have to have a look at that. Other than that, I'm still waiting for the pool man to come back to me on finishing the pool and installing all of the pumps and the electrics in here. So he seems to have just disappeared. I've spoken to the company that actually provide the material, sorry, incoming calls. They seem to be on the opinion that he does. Unfortunately, he needs to chase him down. So I'm not in the habit of doing that, so if he's not going to come back to me today, I should find someone else. But anyway, all the pool stuff was bought yesterday. We're waiting for that to be installed. Anyway, shed loads to do today. Let's get on to that and an update later in the morning once everything's gone manic. Okay, so we're actually going to attempt to move the glass today. So let me show you what we're up to. So Joe the man is going to drive the monster. And we're going to try and actually drag this forward to the front and then try and lift it out. And then the main goal is to get it down the driveway and to get it up on the patio just round here. So what we've got to try and do, bear in mind we don't have a great deal of height at the top. We've got to try and go through the outer jacks, pick it up slightly and try and drag it down. So we're going to try and pull it first. I mean, it is telescopic, so you can literally come straight through here. She is big. So we're going to try and drag it down first. And then once it's dragged down to about here, then they can put the forks into the front. As long as you get the forks right in, then you can twist it up and try and pull it out. Bear in mind the container is also slightly going downhill as well. That never helps. But anyway, that's the goal. And we want to try and get it up onto there. So we'll drag it first. See if you can get underneath. That's the aim anyway, so. How to make a man nervous. Yeah. So that was reasonably nerve-wracking. Going through there. 3 tons. 3 tons. Let's get Joe. Let's get some ply underneath it. Tyson, get some ply quick. Get a couple of sheets of ply for me.
You want to put on the exterior. Right.
Okay, 2.9 tons. Got some ply underneath it. Might want that further forward. So you're going to want to try and take them straight through. Yeah, put it lengthways. That's it. I was just saying, make it lengthways. Go that way. That's it. Do you want to move that jack? John, do you want the guys to remove the jacks?
Nah, còn bạn nóng.
Còn bạn nóng.
John, do you want it further that way? Do you want to go further that way? Slide in or? I would say so, yeah. Yeah. Wow, momentous moment. That's probably one of the biggest stress for me, actually getting that glass from the UK and getting it here in one piece. And then the final journey, getting it out of the container, getting into here. When an experienced load-all driver says his nuts are shaking, I think he said. Excellent. Okay, we're up. Check he's alright. Wow, I thought that was going to be overkill, renting that. That was definitely not an overkill. That was essential. Okay, now what we've got to do is unload the glass at some stage that we don't need out here, that we can put in, and then we're going to have to start covering this up and sheeting it for protection. So probably some ply sheets over it, and then a dust sheet, and obviously then tie it all down. So, Tyson acting like a model, look. Yeah, so that's the plan. So obviously there's 3 big pieces on either side. They can stay out here. We'll get the other ones taken into the building itself and get those on sheets and plywood, and then we'll dust sheet over and plywood the others and get it strapped back down again. I'm not going to lie, that was nerve-wracking. 3, 2, 1. Tyson standing around as always. Where are we at the moment? Plumber making loads of noise and loads of mess as always. We actually have the first window in with glass. They're real and they work. So we now have to come up with an idea of obviously how to fill the gaps around. In the UK they use fixer-foam. Quite a big gap at the top. And window frame's not very straight, and as you can see daylight, which means that the white render we put on wasn't thick enough to cover. Mainly because obviously the window frames go in rather than being straight, but also because the guys didn't calculate the frame width right. But anyway, I think this one's got to be poured, as I said this morning. I need to double check whether that's been done or not. Probably hasn't. It needs to be done up sooner rather than later. We've had a cleaning lady in here today, so she's trying to keep us a bit cleaner. As you can see, it's a bit more organised. She's done out here as well, which is nice, bless her. She's cleansed around there as well. Gonna have to put a sheet over the glass here and get that strapped down so we can actually get things protected and undusty stroke salty. Plumbers and electricians are in there now doing their elements towards first fix. I'll show you what I mean. Conduit on the ceilings. That I think is actually for the breather for that bathroom, because unfortunately what happened is it came through a window frame rather than through a block, so we had to cut it out. Obviously the waste has to breathe in order for water to come out, so we're now going to take that through and over through the wall on the other side. So that conduit's probably being, that wood's probably being cut through, because that's where he's probably going to take a pipe. Electricians obviously running their conduit on the ceilings, going through and connecting up. John, the window fitter, is obviously fitting windows. On to the second one with the glass. The sooner we can get it sealed in here, the better, because then we can start bringing the product in here, start fitting some of it. The young lads are on the window elements. I'm not too sure what they're gluing at the moment, but
remember this end going in a little bit. This end ain't real.
Andy's back in as well on the actual finishing off the rodding on the roof. Camera's up filming everybody. Rendering has taken place. It should have been done yesterday. Rockers rendering the outside. Guys are white mortaring the inside. Got some masons out here rendering the side of the building. So the side is now being rendered as well. So we'll get all of that done today. That's on price, so it will be done. It's amazing what happens on price. Our man Joe moved the glass. He's now not really got a great deal to do, so I don't know where he is, but he's not hung around. Fair play to him. It's not really a great deal to do. But I say we spent 4 hours. Spent an hour moving the glass, and we rented for 4 hours, so a bit of a shame. The carpenters are out here form working up the manholes. As far as I'm aware, they've got half of one to do and one full one to do. They've done this one here, they've done that one there, they've done the one over there, they're 3/4 of the way through the one behind, and the one at the back hasn't been started as yet. The well men haven't turned up at all today, so that's an unreliable business. I would recommend at the moment people probably steer clear of at the moment until he can prove himself. Again, the steel's been put on the manholes here, but they've not been finished yet, so they've got to be form worked as well. And we've still got to support that main beam, that main gutterage as well there. And we also still got to put concrete into these here as well. So the aim is to put concrete in these, get them nice and solid, and then get down here finished off as well, because this is an absolute mess. Wall itself we're going to paint grey. I'm going to go for a grey of some sort, and I'm also going to do the same with that. So once we've actually finished making holes and we can fill everything, I'm going to make that grey all the way around there. That is the goal. That can go at some point soon. Yeah, a good bit of progress being made. Still obviously lots of work to do as always, but bear in mind we've only been in the job for 6 months. I think we were actually doing okay. But anyway, let's get this bloody thing finished. Okay, well, it's 3 o'clock. Sun is out today, a little bit of a breeze. Let's have a look what they've got going on now. They're having a good old chat, so they must be on target. Three labourers. Nothing happening. They're brilliant. Anyway, we're scratch coating the side of the building. I've asked them to actually scratch coat here as well. This is where the overhang of the garage is going to be for the carport, but that's going to go on afterwards. So we're going to get that all plastered in. The rest of it is all being scratch coated. Again, we need to get right across here as well. And I don't know why they stopped there, but we need to get up as close as here as we physically can as well. So Bristol's down there doing the mortaring in and around the manholes. And the carpenters are down here now actually shuttering up these ones as well. So we got 1, 2, 3 manholes down there to get sorted. Seeing a carpenter cutting like that right next to one of the pipes is not ideal. Okay, so the manholes are looking like this. So this will end up becoming the soil, and the grass will come to this level. And then the guys will pour like they are here, look. So little beam, pour down the cavities, and then apparently they make their own little manhole that sits in that little formwork they've made. I've been told the reason why that's not taken place today is because their compressor broke down. So we're now waiting to find out when that can be repaired and returned. They never got around to fixing the hole in the side for us to put the pipe in. I might even get the guys on that in a minute actually, because we can get that pipe in there and get that sealed, then we actually start backfilling it like we said before. So might be worth them actually doing that. Windows are up there obviously. Scratch coating on the back is taking place. Looks like we've got a little bit of a part of the column poking out as always. So that more demolition as always. So that now means that that's going to have to be well treated and then skimmed. But all of this is meant to be done today, all around here, all along here. I'm not too sure why it's gone down to... Oh, I see why. Yeah, they obviously missed this front piece off here. So they're meant to come down to the end of the blue, but this one's gone down further, so maybe they missed that in the first place. They're scratch coating the front of here because the front of it was so bad. Again, ready mix, not poured very well. And now we're removing some of the formwork. You can actually see... You can see now on the front of the formwork how bad some of these parts are. They're meant to have actually smoothed all of this and finished that off, but they haven't. This is the work of ready mix, guys. So meant to be the best on the island, apparently. The best of breed. And that's what you get for the best of breed. So, Andrew Lewis, still waiting for you to come back to me about what you're going to do to rectify our crack in our roof, our steps. Take the money and take no responsibility. Tut, tut, tut. But anyway, let's have a look at how the guys are getting on around here. Anthony's obviously scratch coating underneath. Don't understand why they don't use trowels. So much easier. We also need to get this poured. It's boxed up now for some reason. I'm not too sure why it's boxed up. Need to double check with that. They've obviously got the little scoop thing here, so we need to make sure they're getting that done, and we need to make sure they're carefully in around the windows. So we've got one window in, 3 foot. We've got another window in, 2 foot. Got another window in here, another 3 foot. Looks like we've got another window in over here, another 2 foot. Looks like John and his team have got them all in. Nearly. Yeah, that hinge at the top. So we have a hinge that's unfortunately not screwed in at the top for some unknown reason, so that's going to be repaired. But we've got glass in. Every window that's put in so far, the glass is nearly in. I'm not sure if they're balanced up yet or not. But yeah, so windows on the front. So we still need to finish them off, obviously fixophone them, silicone them, whatever we're going to be doing on them. But yeah, lovely windows as you can see. Handles here. All the tilt and turn handles are all in the frame themselves, which is amazing. So, whole tilt and turn in. So the window opens. Yeah, just need to work out what's going on here with some of these. But yeah, the windows themselves are all tilt and turns, 8 foot, which are nice. So yeah. So the guys are doing off the other windows. Ceilings are now finished off as well. So we've got all the actual ceiling grids in. The electricians are in here making sure all their conduits are coming through. As you can see, some diagonal stuff going on, which is a bit weird. I haven't seen that before. Some diagonal, some straight. That's the only window we haven't got in. Windows in there, windows in there. This man's finishing off. Okay. And obviously then we are where we are. So, still plenty to do. Down here the guys are actually doing the white mortar in the entrance. Have a quick look at that. See how that's coming along. So there's the white mortar. Got this side being done as well as we speak. So. With these, we just sheeted them up and strapped them just in case. Need to get another sheet around that. Just make sure that we're keeping the actual salt and the unnecessary debris off. We did have a cleaning lady here earlier. I don't know where she's gone. She seems to have disappeared. She's probably got to know the labour as well. Just doing what they do. Sounds like we've got Infra turning up to take the jacks. So all these jacks are due to be picked up today. There's a cleaning lady. So that's it for the day so far. So we're only 3:15, so we'll see if anything changes in the meantime. So 5:15, dog hell as always. But anyway, this is where a darker side of the building, a whiter side of the building, and windows. Bar one, we've got a hinge issue with one, so we've got to fix that tomorrow. But windows are in. So she is looking a little bit different. So hopefully not long longer to go and we should be nearly done.